You can relax, the bear tax was confined to the annals of history long ago. Sorry, I didn't mean to say anal. Even so, it's clearly something the British really love. Anal? No, I'm talking about the tax thing. In the Edo period, there was a frontage tax. Frontage? Yes, the opposite of anal. Ooh, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? I am the story-driven gamer, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're hopping back into the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I don't know whether this is technically the first or second game. It's probably a mixture of both, because we are doing some bonus episodes today. Possibly one or two, depending how long this takes. It feels really good to be back in this game. As you can see from the menu, this is exactly where we left off, because I've beaten the main game, both the first and second game. I figured I'd come back for a bonus episode or two, depending how long this takes. So I said at the end of Great Ace Attorney 2 that I was gonna jump into the escapades. We can have a look at them here. Here we go. Escapades. There's 8 of them. I don't know how long each of them are. So if they're really short, I can maybe knock this out in one episode, or I might do it in 2. I'm probably gonna record everything tonight, but I might do, like I said, depending how long these are. So I don't really have that much to say. All I know about these, at least I think, is that they're just kind of fun little shorts. I don't think they have any bearing on the story or anything. Like, just get some fun character interactions. It says on there the Ranced magazine. I'm not sure what that means. I'm just going off of what I know, because I think Spirit of Justice had a similar thing. So that's what I'm going off of. Maybe this is something completely different. I don't know. But let's go one at a time, starting with episode 1. I also don't know if some of these are tied to the first game. Maybe like the first 4 are tied to the first game, the second half, the second game. Or maybe they have no bearing on the main game at all. Who knows? Anyway, episode 1 is in the defendant's antechamber. In the first of 8 escapades, should I read this? I guess I will. Ryunosuke finds 2 troublemaking witnesses from his earlier trial having a battle of words in the defendant's antechamber, leading to a real tongue lashing. You're about to play the escapade entitled Episode 1. Okay, this escapade includes spoilers about the first game's story. Duly noted, so there will be some spoilers. And I forgot to mention that. I wasn't sure if there would be spoilers in this, but I'll be talking, you know, I've beaten the game, so I'll be talking, you know, as if I've beaten the game. So if you're worried about spoilers and you haven't watched the main series yet, I recommend you do that. Otherwise, we're gonna hop right in. Let us see what this is all about. 22nd of November, 3:08 p.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, Defendant's Antechamber 5. Oh my gosh, this guy!
Just look at my priceless treasure now! My shelf I've scrubbed and scrubbed, but the repellent odor of meat will never be repelled from its resplendent surface again.
That's, oh my gosh.
But you have it back in your possession at least. You should be grateful, old man.
Oh my gosh. Blast from the past. Sorry if I don't remember the exact voices I gave them. So yeah, this is definitely tied to the first game, which the little spoiler warning told us.
How dare you!
Excuse me, but I'd just like to get at that, Zabuton cushion there if I could.
Ah! Rest assured, you miserable military malefactor, this is not over. Incarceration awaits those who would defraud a senior citizen of his priceless treasures.
Watch your tongue, old man. Mark my words, I won't.
Sorry, Sergeant, but could I just get at that Zabuton cushion there as well? I mean, if you just move over a tad, it's not too much of an ask, is it?
Huh? Oh. I won't go to jail. Never! Imagine if I did. The very next day, my boy would starve without the chain of command in place to provide for him.
Huh? Using the child to protect yourself? Myself, call that obstinate cowardice.
Oh, really? And who just employed the old poor, defenseless senior citizen tactic, The only way to fight an enemy who's using underhand tactics is with a tit-for-tat strategy. I like tits and I like tats.
Oh. I remember that. Look at the snot coming out of that baby's nose. I'm sorry to interrupt again, but I just need to get at that Western-style cushion there on the sofa. Can you get out of my way? Please.
Enough of this insubordination. What do you want, man?
Oh, please, don't mind me.
Aha! Do my eyes deceive me? Or is this the wide-eyed criminal from the trial before?
Oh, were they witnesses in the very, very first case? I think they were, right? They were sitting at a table. Wide-eyed, perhaps, but criminal? No.
What is this unhealthy fascination you exhibit with the seating arrangements of others, Why were you peering under the cushion of this upholstered seat?
Oh, well, the thing is... Who's this? Any luck? Did you find it? Is it Suzuto? Oh, Kazuma! No, sadly not. I don't think it's here, Kazuma. Whatever you're looking for. You really are a liability, Ryunosuke.
Report! At once! Have you lost something? Is that it?
Oh, what gave that away? Yes, we were just on our way to a party to celebrate my friend's victory here when... I realized that my university pin badge was missing. Oh no! Whatever will we do?
A university pin badge, you say?
Yes, from my collar here, you see. This is before I had Kazuma's thingy.
Affirmative. Uniforms must be kept in prompt condition at all times. A missing badge is unacceptable.
I thought if I looked around, it would probably turn up somewhere. But alas, I was wrong. Like the old tale of the Koban coin and the steak. Hey, I remember that.
A parable of which I'm acutely aware.
But I've exhausted my search now, really. The only logical conclusion is that someone must have stolen it.
Don't look at me. I don't just find any old metal object irresistible, you know?
Does the baby have it?
Imagine what would happen if little Trooper Aido here swallowed something like that.
I'm afraid we'll have to give up, Ryunosuke. Still, if you tell the office your student number, they should be able to issue you with a new one. What's the matter? Don't tell me. Yes, I don't remember my student number. Imagine that. I don't believe it. I mean, this is the second time you've lost your badge, isn't it? Really, Ryunosuke? Really? Third, actually. If you didn't think you could remember it, you should have made a note of it somewhere. Might be. I told you that until I was blue in the face the last time this happened. Why don't you ever listen to me? Oh yes, I do seem to remember someone telling me something along those lines. Kinda. It's all a blur, actually. It was you, was it? You can't even remember who told that to you. That you needed to remember it. If I were to die, Ryunosuke, who would be here to remind you of these things? What am I saying? That will never happen. Well, student numbers are 6 digits, Kazuma. Who could remember 6 whole digits? It's crazy talk. Yuma isn't exactly a long-established university, you know? All of our numbers are still rather low. In fact, they only use the last 3 digits. Well, that might help, I suppose. That might help. You are hopeless, Ryunosuke. Ryunosuke, it's only 3 digits you need to remember. Just 3, you imbecile. So my brain is such a disappointment. Bad, Ryunosuke.
Yes, well, anyway, young man. Myself, I was greatly impressed with you in the courtroom today.
Ah, thank you. Much appreciated, old-timer. Oh, you mean me?
A lawyer already before you even graduated. Such a loyal friend to this one.
Yeah, it's so weird. So this is taking place, like, I guess probably right after the trial, because they said they're gonna have a celebration for getting me off. That was terrible phrasing, but you know what I meant. So I have to, like, kind of put myself in that mindset. And even right there, the old man, like, I thought he was talking to me, and I'm like, oh wait, that's right, I wasn't the lawyer here, technically. This one? What's that supposed to mean? Oh no, I still have much to learn. In fact, that was brought home to me in no uncertain terms only last year. My Achilles heel was particularly exposed. By my best friend here. Me?
Indeed.
What? By me? This is the first I've heard about it. Yes, by Ryunosuke Naruhodo. You can't have forgotten, surely. It was last summer, at the speech contest. The speech contest? Oh, that. I totally know what you're talking about, surely, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Speech. Contestants had to take to the stage and deliver a public address on any subject they chose. We were competing to give the most compelling and powerful speech. And yours was great. You made a huge impression on the audience. Obviously, since I was a budding student of law, I was determined to win. And sure enough, one by one my opposition fell. When I reached the final at last, I came up against you. Yes, so you did. And I kicked your butt, right? Not being rude, but when I first laid eyes on you, I thought to myself, this will be easy. This cheeky, wide-eyed no-hoper is out of his depth. He's going to be a pushover. That's your version of not being rude, is it? Jerk. Well, I paid for my complacency because it brought on that humiliating defeat. That's right, Ryunosuke is awesome.
Defeat? How are your ranks compromised? Down, boy.
My speech was going well. I had the audience in the palm of my hand. They hung on my every word. And then, when I came to the very last line...
Yes? What happened at the very last line? Sorry, my voice cracked there for a moment.
It was supposed to be a climactic end. Unfortunately, I completely fouled it up.
Never!
Oh, that's the old man.
You mean you stumbled on your words?
Spectacularly. Even now, I can't believe I ruined it. Me of all people.
Well, what on earth did you say, man?
Ryunosuke, you'd better say it. I still can't get my tongue around it. Sure, of course. I can still recall it perfectly, like it was only yesterday. What you said at the end of your speech, or rather, what you intended to say at the end of your speech, was this. So arise, ladies and gentlemen, and applaud our forefathers' plight and fight for filial piety. What? Come again? You left the crowd speechless.
What the hell was that? And what went wrong?
What indeed? Myself, I see no problem with the pronunciation of those paltry words.
In that case, old man, I invite you to say it yourself. Is it like a hard thing to say?
Very well, then I shall. So arise, ladies and gentlemen, and applaud our forefathers' plight and the fight for filial file flicky flacky flabbloo. It's impossible. What the hell?
The arise, ladies and gentlemen part I delivered perfectly. Quite the tongue twister, isn't it? But the next part had me floundering for a whole 5 minutes. Oh man, I want to see this. Act it out. By the end of it, I was on my knees in front of the podium, a blabbering mess. And that's when the audience started to heckle you, mercilessly, for the rest of your life. Arise, arise, they were shouting. And pointing fingers and laughing at you.
Hell on earth.
But then, of course, this man went and delivered his word-perfect speech with a perfect ending. How did it go again? Let me see. So, my dear fellows, the message is simple. Treat your father and mother with respect. Something like that. Concise and to the point. I mean, talk about stating the obvious, but the fact is I lost to that speech. I mean, you're the one who wrote it, right? You should have, made it less tongue-twistery.
Tongue-tied is the only way to describe it.
Well, that's quite tricky to say, I agree. That final flight for filial piety, especially. And ever since that day, I've had this question whirling around in my head. Why did our forefathers choose such an awkward phrase? Was it to mock their children? I'm sure that's what it was. I mean, it should never be called filial piety. Ah! I messed it up again. At least you're going to Great Britain soon. It might not come up much there. You can hope. Well, anyway, having lost that accursed contest, I came after you to ask you a question. How is it that you never trip up on your words? I inquired, and you just gave me a broad smile and said, "It just be like that sometimes, bro." That's what he said. Speaking fast is my hobby. I mean, really, what kind of a hobby is that? You think you could take your hand off of your sword, please? Besides, it's just a way to pass the time. After that, you started talking at me 10 to the dozen, like you were possessed almost. You started talking in 5 times speed. Honestly, you can't imagine the shock I suffered that day. You really can't. You're right. I really can't.
Speaking fast is just the sort of hobby I'd expect a civilian like you to waste his time on.
Well, you have to practice, of course, but there are some simple things to start with. Like this famous one, for example. Okay, here we go. Let me get ready. Swift samurai sword, swipe silently sideways. Swift samurai sword, swipe silently sideways. Swift samurai sword, swipe silently sideways. Kinda did it.
Oh yes, even a decrepit tongue and an ailing frame such as mine can find its way around that one.
Then try it. I've no doubt. It's just a bit of fun, really. I can't imagine anybody would struggle to say it. Right, Kazuma? You wouldn't mess up. You wouldn't trip on your words, would you? Isn't that right, Kazuma? I accept your challenge. Here we go. Swift samurai
Ah! Damn it all!
Why? Why do you mock me like this, Ryunosuke? I'm blabbering a mess by word 2. Hey, he made it to word 3.
It's not just the samurai. Every good soldier needs to be able to handle a sword. That's what I've been teaching. Busy teaching Ido, the finer points of swordplay. None of this wordplay nonsense, Private.
Come to think of it, not long after that, we started to attend lectures together, didn't we? And we got into that debate about family values at the sukiyaki place on campus. Do you remember? Yes, your argument was full of jokes and puns and wordplay as usual. I remember it well. They don't call me the swordsmith for nothing. Oh, sorry, wordsmith. They don't call me the wordsmith for nothing, you know. Oh, was it? In any case. Actually, I can be the wordsmith, and Kazuma can be the swordsmith. I swore that I would never let myself forget the shock you gave me back then. And as a symbol of how seriously I took that oath, I decided to wear this. My red Hachimaki headband that blows in the wind all on its own. It's alive, actually. I know I've said this before, but I like to picture that he just like has a fan off a screen at all times, just blowing on his head.
Come again?
I don't know what's going on anymore. Private?
Sorry, Kazuma. Yes, what is it? You've lost me there, I'm afraid. I don't see the link. What did your red headband have to do with your oath? Because it will always remind me of that smug look on your face as you utter those tantalizing words. What words? You mean another tongue twister? Yes, precisely. I practiced and practiced until my tongue bled, but in the end I mastered it. Mastered what? Well, I think it's time you heard this, actually. Listen carefully now. Is he gonna say the speech now? Here goes. Are you ready? Are you ready, Ryunosuke? Red headband, dead headband, dead headband. Red headband, dead headband, dead headband. Red headband, dead headband, dead. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. There. Word perfect, see? You may praise me now. Ryunosuke is shocked.
Sorry, I wasn't listening at all.
Oh, Ido, get off my mustache.
I'd actually been meaning to ask you about that. About the story behind your headband, I mean. Well, now you know, so that I'll never forget the shock and humiliation of that day. Hiya! That's why I wear this red headband every single day without fail. Well, I don't know exactly how much of a shock you think you had back then, but It can't be more than the shock you've just given me now. What do you mean? Well, I'm sorry to have to tell you, but the tongue twister I said didn't go the way you seem to have remembered it. Huh? It's just as famous as First Samurai Sword, so I can't believe you don't know it, really. What a joke. It goes, red bread pan, lead bread pan, dead bread man. Wait, what? Red pa- Ah! Damn it! Ryunosuke, you got me again. It seems I've knocked some wind out of that headband of yours.
It's not too late, Private. You could always start wearing a red bread pan on your head instead. Aha!
Your youthful vigor is manifest, young man. Your cheeks are glowing redder than your hachamaki.
Ah! Curse you, Inosuke! I will return! What is this voice I'm giving him? I will return stronger than ever. Mark my words. Why do so many words have to be so similar? It's just the way it goes, man. That's how it be sometimes. So, looking forward to Great Britain then? Where you'll have to deliver speeches and quote in English? Ha! I suppose I can always shell seashells on the seashore. See what I did there? That's another popular one. Suck it, Ryunosuke. So there you go. That's kind of what I expected. Just a load of silliness. So I guess each of these will probably follow one of the cases. So this one was tied to the aftermath of the last, the first game's first case. This one takes place on the ship, so this is probably tied to the the second game. Oh, it shows Sholmes and Kazuma, so this must be before Ryunosuke even gets on board, maybe, when they're both on the ship. In a first-class cabin, in this second escapade, it transpires that another crime was committed aboard the SS Buria. The stakes are high as Sholmes and Stroganov pursue the culprit, but there's more to the crime than meets the eye. Okay, so escapade includes spoilers about the first game's story. Got it. I'm glad they give you that warning, though. 6th of January, 6:23 p.m. SS Buria, first class cabin number 1. It's almost 2 weeks now since we left Japan. I can't believe how quickly time has gone. Okay, so now we're playing from Kazuma's perspective. So, our next port of call will be Shanghai.
Knock, knock, knock.
Who's there? Who could it be at this hour? A detective! Aha! You'll never guess who it is. A detective who? Not Detective Who. I'm Sholmes. A great detective. I don't get it. What's a great detective? If you would just be so kind as to open the door. Oh yes, sorry, of course. Click, clack, pat-a-whack. It is I! Is something wrong, detective? Are you investigating a case? Wherever a great detective goes, great cases occur. Indeed, I am the root of all evil. That sounds about right. Sorry? Then I don't think I want you in my cabin. Please leave. Under our very noses on the steamship, a terrible theft has just occurred. What? You noticed, I presume, the brief power failure a short while ago? Oh yes, the power couldn't have been out for more than 10 minutes, though. Indeed. Yet that was ample time for this wicked crime to be perpetrated. I see. Well, clearly it's a case that needs investigating, so have at it. Precisely. The culprit ran away in this direction. Down the first-class cabin passageway here. Really? The thief came this way? I'm quite sure of it. It may have escaped the attention of the dim-witted crew, but not of the great detective. Aha! To that end, I would be obliged if you would allow me to investigate here in this cabin. Well... How curious. Is there some reason why I would inconvenience you to have your cabin searched? Are you hiding weed? Inconvenient to me? Well, I'd be lying if I said no. After all... There's a stowaway in that wardrobe right over there. That's right. That's right. That's right. Kazuma's smuggling Ryunosuke in And then Kazuma ends up dead, and that's why Ryunosuke was a prime suspect to begin with. It's kind of giving me a refresher as well on all these cases. It's just me in here, you see? No one else. So you might perhaps want to focus your attention on one of the other first-class cabins. As it happens, you are the only first-class passenger at present. The other cabins are vacant. Oh, well... I got nothing.
Groan.
That was my stomach. Pay it no mind. That rather tragic rumbling of the stomach. Oh, what is it? Okay. A ride from within you, my good fellow? Of course. As I said, I'm the only person in here. Nobody else. Just me. It's not long until dinner time now, so perhaps we could do this afterwards. I do apologize, sir, but it is of the first importance that the investigation is not delayed. Aha! Now, if you'll excuse me. Wait, where did he go? No! Get away from there! How did he suddenly move all the way over there? Yes, without a doubt. If the culprit were to be hiding in this cabin, it would have to be inside this wardrobe. They went to Narnia. I solved it. I shall need to examine this wardrobe thoroughly. I presume you have no objection? About that. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to decline for reasons. Achoo! Achoo! Was that you, my good fellow? How did you sneeze without moving your mouth? Those two rather tragic sneezes arise from your good self. Yeah, duh. Of course they did. As I said, I'm the only person in here. You have a curious knack at talking while sneezing, then. Twice, no less. How did you do it? Well, I am a ventriloquist. This is going to be a tough one to argue. I was watching you quite intently, sir, and I assure you I see no signs of a sneeze. Couldn't Ryunosuke have held his nose, damn it all? As I was saying, I shall need to examine this wardrobe. I need to check for magical beasts. We've had it now then. The game's up. The game is afoot no longer. Click. Creak! And... nothing? I'm assuming he's not gonna find something. Huh. Nobody hiding in there, it seems. What? You seem surprised. I figured as much. No, not at all. Yes, I am. What the hell? He was in there for sure. I shut the doors on him myself. Knock, knock, knock. That's Stroganoff? More visitors? Who's this now? Click, clack.
Excusing me, it is I, Beef Stroganoff.
Oh, Seaman Stroganoff.
Sorry for disturbing, but crime has been committed on board ship.
Yes, I heard. A terrible theft, apparently.
How do you know this?
Ah, well, the detective here does inform me, you see.
Detective?
Yes, I assumed you must have asked him to investigate. Detective, could you... Oh, is he hiding in the wardrobe now? Where did he go?
I must ask you to cooperate with the investigation into this crime, fully.
Uh-oh, he's glaring at the wardrobe already. Click, creak! Ah! This might have a little joke. Well done, you found me. I do love a good game of hide and seek. What are you doing hiding in my wardrobe? There's no Narnia in there, My good man, I was merely assessing the practicality of concealment in such a place. And I would say that, at a push, a human could survive for up to 5 minutes in that cramped space. Just 5? We know she's been in there for a fortnight. Is she not human?
Who are you?
Also, they don't even know each other yet. Shush! This is the moment of truth. The great detective is about to unveil the sordid details of this wretched crime. You mean to say... Yes, there can be no doubt that the culprit of this terrible theft did indeed conceal himself within this wardrobe.
What?
But it's impossible. He couldn't have done. Unless the thief is Ryunosuke, because my best friend was in there the entire time. Or at least I thought he was.
How can you be sure of this?
Elementary, my dear fellow. The criminal left behind the most revealing evidence. How else could you explain these 3 bones?
Ah!
Are they looking for the puppers? What the? He's right. Look at those gnawed bones in there. And 3 of them.
Arg! The criminal has escaped this time, but I will find him and crush him. Mark my words.
Could I ask you something, detective? Why, yes, of course. I am always delighted to answer an inquiring mind. In this terrible theft, what exactly was stolen? Aha! What else? But some steaks on the rib bone? Aha, did you say steaks on the rib bone? That's a weird way to phrase it. I've heard meat on the bone.
For this evening's dinner, 3 rib steaks were stolen from Chef's kitchen only a short time ago. There was malfunction with generator, and ship was without light for 10 minutes. Chef who saw criminal said that he ran away down first-class passageway. And now I am on his tail.
It was a dog, right, that ballerina lady had? The one that tripped Kazuma and kills him? I'm afraid to say, my dear fellow, that your man is no longer in this cabin.
But how?
Through the cabin door, no less. Did he escape when we were all not looking? Having devoured his hole in this wardrobe, the culprit discarded the bones, and concealed himself behind the cabin door as you came inside. Then, when attention was turned to the wardrobe, he seized his chance to escape through the open door. That's one smart dog. Unless it wasn't a dog.
What?
Make haste, my good man. After the culprit, I shall follow presently.
Hold it!
That was him? Something troubled you, sir? I didn't think you'd have a sound bite.
I think maybe criminal is not running away at all.
What are you suggesting?
Now I know where the dog is buried. Mr. Asogi.
What? Me? I'm not a dog, what?
Da! When I think that you are culprit, everything is falling in places.
Do explain.
The criminal that disappeared in first place passageway is the bones in the wardrobe. All clues are pointing their finger at you.
Don't be ridiculous. I would never. Yes, of course. I established at once you couldn't be the perpetrator of this crime. You did.
Why? How are you so sure?
My dear fellow, allow me to enlighten you. There are but 2 things in this world on which one can rely with total certainty.
What 2 things?
The first is the word of a great detective. Aha! And the second...
Groan.
Is that my stomach again? The second is the tragic rumbling of an empty belly. Ah, not again. Maybe it was the dog's stomach who grumbled. Maybe the dog's in here still. When I first entered this cabin, there did arise from this gentleman a belly rumbling so odiously tragic that I confirmed beyond all doubt that the man had not eaten a single rib steak in some time, let alone 3. Oh, now that I think about it, wasn't Kazuma like, I don't know if he was, I guess now we're getting confirmation he was stealing him, but are these for Ryunosuke to feed him since obviously he can't go down to the dining hall and eat? Maybe there was no dog. Why do I have to suffer this humiliation when I've done nothing wrong?
Curses! I will catch this thief. He cannot have gone far.
Indeed, assuming he decided against a post-meal constitutional swim, ha! Well, if you'll excuse me now, my apologies for upsetting your evening. Toodaloo! Detective, one moment, please. Yes? That was the most remarkable deduction. Perhaps you'd be kind enough to tell me your name. Ah, it quite slipped my mind. You have been talking with the one and only. Here it comes. Sherlock Sholmes. Are you impressed? I see. Well, I'm Cosmo Osage. I'm a student on my way to Great Britain. I expected you to be more excited about talking to me, but alright. Pleased to make your acquaintance, Mr. Osage. Oh, and before I forget. Yes? I feel I should warn you. Live cargo is strictly forbidden on this vessel. So you would do well to conceal the stowaway currently lying low under your bed as carefully as possible. Oh, under the bed? I bid you farewell, then. Mr. Asagi? Or maybe he slipped. Maybe when he got a sense that we were going to check the wardrobe, maybe he slid under there. He's uncovered our secret. I suppose I should have expected nothing less of a great detective. He's one of a kind. Now then. When did you move in under the bed? I thought we'd had it when you opened the wardrobe door. We don't get to talk to Ryunosuke very often like this, because we usually are Ryunosuke. Oh well, it was thanks to that split-second chance you engineered. That's how what? When my stomach grumbled? You distracted him for a moment, remember? When you suggested that he investigated the other cabins instead. Oh yes, he turned to look towards the corridor, didn't he? Well, I couldn't see what he was doing, of course. But I thought to myself, it's now or never. And the next thing I knew, I was under the bed. Just like that. You really know how to give me a scare, don't you? Anyway, what's all this about the rib sticks, eh? Sorry about that. I've just been so hungry. Okay, so he was the one stealing them. I thought Cosmo might have been stealing it for him. Ever since we left Japan, stuck in that tiny wardrobe? Well, you should know. You've been splitting all your meals with me. You must be starving too, surely. Maybe? Right on cue. And there was that power cup before, wasn't there? For about 10 minutes. So it was then. I caught a whiff of the most delicious smell. And I thought to myself, it's now or never. Next thing I knew, I had the steak in my hands. I was moving like a man possessed. This man just can't stop getting himself into trouble. Well, alright, you were hungry, but 3 steaks. Fatty. Thanks to you, 3 crewmen are going to go without tonight, I imagine. Didn't think about that. No, it was just the one. What? I only took 1 rib steak from the kitchen. That's all. But I don't understand. They said 3. Maybe it was the dog. Hey, I'm not that selfish. If I'd stolen 3 steaks, I'd at least have tossed one your way. I'm not your pet dog. Well, in that case, who stole the other 2? Ah, do you think? Could there be a ghost on board? Hide me! I'll be in the wardrobe. A meal-loving ghost? Zoinks! There can only have been a single bone in the wardrobe, and Ryunosuke moved to hide under the bed. Which means that the other 2 bones can only have been put there by one very flesh and blood person. We're talking about Sholmes, are we? Haha! What's so funny? We're on a haunted ghost ship. A great detective of a great mischief maker. Either way, I think I'd like to spend a little more time getting to know that man. The great Sherlock Sholmes. Oh, I like that. That could be a good thumbnail right there. Always on the hunt for good thumbnails. Okay. These are quite lengthy, I guess, so I think I will be doing the next 2, and then I might save the last 4 for the next episode. We shall see, though. Episode 3, at the British Supreme Court. Okay, so that looks like it takes place at Strongheart's place with Ryunosuke and Suzuto, who we haven't seen in one of these yet. This escapade takes place as Ryunosuke and Suzuto visit Lord Strongheart to report on the outcome of Mr. Natsume's trial. They find a flustered Inspector Gregson attempting to solve a very taxing problem before his time runs out. Gregson, I miss you. (26th of February, 9:17 a.m. British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's office. Here we are again. Every time we visit here, the atmosphere in this place seems to get more and more overbearing. Just think, we could be at home with Mr. Sholmes and Iris having a nice cozy breakfast. But instead we're here. But we have a duty to report the outcome of the case, especially since we're guests here in Britain. So I'm afraid this visit couldn't have been avoided. I suppose not. But is there even anyone here? You could hear a pin drop in this place. It's too solemn for its own good. It is very quiet, isn't it? The only sound is the ticking of the great clock as it keeps perfect time. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Exactly. Over and over and over and over again. Pitter-patter, pitter-patter, pitter-patter. I don't think that was her talking, but I like to imagine it was. What was that, I wonder? The usual comforting sound of the clock seems to have been joined by a less comforting shuffling sound today. Tick-tock, 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 tick-tock. Ha! 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 Are you okay, Suzuto? Do you need to lie down? You're right, something's disturbing the rhythmical ticking. Someone hiding in the clock? It sounds rather like an unfit middle-aged man running from pillar to post. Clumsily, I might add.
Who are you calling unfit, eh?
Ha! 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 I'll be fine.
Don't worry about me.
Oh, Inspector Gregson. What are you doing here?
What am I?
Ha!
Isn't it flaming obvious?
Ha! Ha! No, not really.
58 seconds remaining, Inspector. It is I, Lord Strongheart. I am not evil. Ah, we'll have to talk later, sunshine.
That was shady. Good morning, Lord Strongheart.
Good morning, Miss Suzuto. I was just giving Gregson his assassination mission. Nothing.
Wow, he's really looking fiercely at his pocket watch today.
And good morning to you. Business so early in the day.
Oh, yes, well, I mean, it's about the other day, don't hurt me. We are to deliver our report, Lord Strongheart, as our dealings with Mr. Natsume are now over.
Oh yes, the little Japanese man. I've already cast my eyes over Van Zox's report.
Pitter-patter, pitter-patter, pitter-patter. Okay, Gregson's still there.
I must say the outcome surprised me. I thank you for a job well done.
You were too kind, my lord.
It's not there, it's not there. And it's not over there either.
I hope you don't mind me asking, but what exactly is the inspector doing? He's been herring around between the bookshelves looking beside himself with worry.
Oh, don't mind him. He's looking for particular work. The Lion's Pride.
Now there's an all too familiar title. Wasn't that in, the Garadebza room?
I'd heard it was a popular tale, so I obtained a copy from the rental library. However, it wasn't able to maintain my interest, so I soon cast it aside. I happened to notice a vacant spot on one of my shelves at the time. So I duly stowed the book there. Unfortunately, I no longer remember where that was. Might be. Nope, not there. Not here either. Come on, where are you lions hiding? The book is due back today, so I've asked Gregson to locate it for me with his investigative prowess. Inside 5 minutes. You only have a couple minutes left there, Inspector.
I must say, I've never seen anyone working so hard to find something. He's like a man possessed.
Oh yes, that's because his month's salary is staked upon the outcome. Aha! Hurry up, man!
At whose instigation? Let me guess, the stony-faced lord. And the 5-minute time limit? What's the significance of that?
I just like messing with people. There is none. Just my just my vulgar mischief spirit showing itself, I'm afraid.
Mischievous spirit. Oh, by your own admission. At least you're honest.
Gah! I can't. My feet are killing me. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up, Inspector. You fail. Get under the guillotine. Grah! Which means the next month you will work unpaid and have no days off. Huh. April Fools, but not really. No days off. Can't I just give you my fish and chips?
Strong Art's a bit of a hard ass. Where'd everybody go? There really are just so many books here. It's overwhelming.
For some, perhaps. I purchased every book, new or old, on the subject of lore from all over the globe. Wouldn't have believed it a few short decades ago. A place like this couldn't have existed. But here we are.
What do you mean, Inspector?
When I was a lad, no one ever dreamed of buying books. Books were for nerds.
Oh, I see. Western books are such luxury items, I suppose, with their leather covers and fancy bindings.
No, that's not it.
Oh?
There was a tax on paper, see?
Ah, on paper?
Yeah, I mean, it was abolished about 30 years back now, but it was used to be the case. There was tax levied on any kind of paper. So obviously that meant most folk couldn't afford to buy any books at all.
That sucks. Ah, so is that why places like the rental library you mentioned before came into existence, Lord Strongheart?
Indeed. Vestiges of the paper tax system, you could say. The general public consider books as items for hire. I'm filthy stinking rich, so I have all the paper I need. London is home to a vast lending library of some 3.5 million books. And most of them are here.
You couldn't hope to read all of that even if you were reincarnated 10,000 times.
Even I would choose to rent a book rather than purchase it, if I knew I would read it infrequently.
The subject of the tax has actually survived this already in the last few days. It came up in Mr. Natsume's trial. Yeah, I was gonna say, they were literally taxed for having too many windows or whatever. Yeah, seemed that the window in his room was filled in due to some kind of window tax.
That would be true. Fortunately, the window tax was abolished here some 40 years ago. Sadly, in the East End in particular, many windowless houses remain.
Ah, okay, so it's not really a thing anymore.
Britain's always had a bit of a thing for tax and stuff. Who would have thunk it? Whatever they can tax, they tax. Sugar, salt, tea, coffee. You name it. Candles, beds.
Wait, sorry. What was that last one? Did you say beards? Oh, I'd have... I'd have to pay them a lot of money.
Yep, the beard tax. Never heard of it.
Can't say that I have. How do you even tax... Do you just do it? Everybody who has a beard gets taxed? Do you get taxed more depending on the length of the beard? Why should people have to pay money just because they let their facial hair grow?
You may well ask. I suppose it's because it makes them look self-important.
Ugh. The Navajodos will have a strict family policy of no facial hair, I think. We're not paying no hair tax. Or do mustaches count, Gregson? I was gonna say, he has a beard.
You can relax, the beard tax was confined to the annals of history long ago. Sorry, I didn't mean to say anal.
Even so, it's clearly something the British really love.
Anal?
No, I'm talking about the tax thing. Paying taxes, I mean.
Paying them? You've got that back to French sunshine.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think anyone likes paying taxes. But you can't deny you've had a lot of funny taxes over the years. You'd never find anything like that in Japan. Would you, Miss Suzuto? Not that I can recall. Is she gonna come up with like a bunch of them? In actual fact, I'm afraid to say that you would, Mr. Naruhodo. What? No, you don't mean... Surely there's never been a window tax in Japan. No, but there have been similarly obscure taxes. For example, in the Edo period, there was a frontage tax. Frontage? Yes, the opposite of anal. What was that? Sorry, I'm sorry. It was a tax not on windows, but on the entrance to properties. Oh, that seems even worse. The larger a property's entrance was, the greater the tax that was levied on it. Even today, some mansions survive with extremely narrow entrances due to that old form of taxation. I had no idea.
Humph. So you Japanese are as twisted as us Brits.
But we never had a beard tax. I mean, that's really going a step too far. Well, no, that's true. I'm not aware of any taxes for beards, at least. But mustaches, on the other hand. What do you mean, at least? Well, rather than tax them, the shogunate did once prohibit them outright. The ruling class prohibited beards? That's outrageous. It was called the Great Beard Prohibition. It was an Edo period edict. I wonder, is any of this true, or are they just making stuff up? Why the powers that be want to ban beards? They're so cool.
I know, right? Because it makes people look self-important. Just an idea.
Does it, though? I guess it depends how you wear it, or how you style your beard. I mean, I think my beard, even though I love my beard, like right now it's really long. Obviously you can't see it now because I'm not on face cam, but it's like bushy. It's like Hagrid level beard. It would seem that rulers in the East and the West have had very similar ideas over the years. There have been other unusual taxes in our history, even in our current Meiji period.
There have?
For example, those before either of us were born, there was a rabbit tax. There was a tax on those adorable fluffy creatures? Like the ones who make mochi sweets on the moon? What? Yeah, whatever. Yes, it was an extremely large tax too. The government demanded extraordinary sums of money. What, to hunt rabbits or just to own one? This just gets stranger and stranger. What was the reason for that bizarre tax then? I don't know. Well, after Japan opened its doors to the world, there was an unprecedented rabbit boom in the Meiji capital. Boom? Yes, keeping rabbits became hugely popular, and new species were traded at exorbitant prices. Better not tell Elmer Fudd! Who's that? I don't know. People were even swindled out of all their money for exotically colored rabbits. Like colored chicks, I suppose.
Hard to imagine, though. Rabbits are so timid and quiet. Wouldn't have thought one could bankrupt you.
Yeah, right? So in response to this worrying social vogue, the government imposed a rabbit tax. I suppose they couldn't just ignore the problem. And it worked, because the rabbit boom came to an abrupt end. 6 years later, the tax was abolished. Okay, well, I guess if it worked. Well, I hate to say it about my own country, but Japan is strange. But there's more. After the rabbit tax was abolished, then of course, society reacted by launching straight into a second rabbit boom. And then they had to do it again. Oh dear. The government didn't think that one through, did they?
Okay, you're all wasting my time with this crap. Your ideas about the world are very much altered by the position you hold in society. If you are responsible for the running of the country, you will need to raise revenue keenly. Without a stable taxation system, the whole country would go down the drain. Huh.
Well, yes, I suppose so. But some of these taxes are just weird.
That's precisely why ministers of state use their wiles to invent new and novel ways of taxing the public.
Novel ways?
We just want your money, that's all. Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo, if you were one of my country's statesmen...
Me? A British statesman?
Yes, what novel tax would you impose? Pray give us something truly original. Go on. Inside 5 seconds, hurry!
What? Oh, I'm gonna throw up. Think of something that everyone uses, Mr. Naruhodo, and really squeeze every penny out of the population. Do it! That's quite the intense stare. I'm very glad Suzuro-san isn't in charge.
Time's up! Your time is up. So, what's your answer?
Well... air, maybe? Yes, how about air? The triumphant music. I did it! Good one, Ryunosuke.
Good lord, that's brilliant! Huh. An air attack, you say?
Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo. A truly novel and fiendish idea. Well, everyone has to breathe, so while the population is inhaling air, my government is inhaling money. All hail Ryunosuke, your new tyrant.
Blimey,
Yeah, exactly. Gregson, you read my mind.
blimey, you're a tyrant at heart, eh?
It's funny that I use that word, too.
A somewhat radical solution to a country's revenue problems, but sadly not an original one.
Oh, don't tell me somebody's done that already. No, you mean to say... Surely not. You mean a tax on air has been imposed in the past?
By me! It was last century. The finance minister of our neighbor France proposed it.
What? If I ever go for a visit, I'm holding my breath. Well, I mean, that's France. They don't count.
Unsurprisingly, it was strongly opposed by the public and soon scrapped. The minister didn't last long either.
Geez, I wonder why. Oh dear. Although clearly that would have been an untenable situation. It would have been an uprising. The public at large are a force to be reckoned with.
Don't I know it?
How about you, Inspector? What new tax would you impose?
Let me see. My first thought is a tax on objections.
Hey, not cool. Sorry?
Been hearing far too many of them recently in court. There's a particular lawyer I have in mind as it happens.
Couldn't be me, right? Right?
So I think an objection tax would be very handy.
Good to see you don't allow your personal feuds to influence your work in public affairs. Or the public office.
I reckon 5 pence for every objection raised would be about right. I'll consider it. A most amusing proposal, Gregson.
A most unamusing proposal, my lord.
Okay, you've all wasted plenty of my time. Well then, I think it's your turn now.
Sorry? My turn for what?
Why, what else? To locate my missing copy of The Lion's Pride.
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh.
It's on one of the shelves in this room. Of that I am certain. Now, I shall give you 10 minutes. And let's take your student's stipend on it, huh? Fail to find the book and you forfeit next month's payment. Sound fair?
Objection!
Oh, you must pay me now. Your time starts now. Oh, and one more thing. Oh, I believe you just said the word objection.
Here you go.
Kindly leave your 5 pence over there before you begin combing the shelves.
This tax is going to be the death of me. I'm gonna lose more money than I make in this gig. There we go. One more. Yeah, I'm just gonna do one more. Then I'll end the episode. And next time, we'll do the last 4. But for now, episode 4 in Sholmes' suite. The fourth escapade unfolds one morning on Baker Street when Iris had prepared breakfast for everyone as usual. But Ryunosuke wakes to find an envelope under his door containing a death threat. Ooh. Who on earth could have put it there? And why? This is like old-timey social media. 9th of March, 8:23 a.m. Sholmes' suite. Swite. Good morning, Iris. Good morning, Mr. Sholmes. Oh, morning, Susie. I'll get breakfast on the table for all of us. Mr. Sholmes, morning. Hello. Come now, why the long face? Oh, sorry, the thing is, I just had a rather strange envelope posted under my door this morning. With some rather strange things inside. What strange things? Oh, what was it, Runo? Do I catch the scent of mystery in the air? Something like that. Nothing so exciting, I'm afraid, Iris. It was just 5 orange pips. Whatever that means. I can't imagine what it could possibly... What? Orange pips, Mr. Naruhodo? And for 5 of them? What's the matter with you? That's a bit of an overreaction, isn't it? An overreaction? Mr. Naruhodo, you don't understand at all. It's a warning, a notice of imminent danger. To your life. What? To my life? Oh dear. What's the meaning of all this, Mr. Sholmes? Is this true? My dear fellow, why do you make such an inquiry of me? Because the name of the sender was written on the envelope, and it was yours. Oh! Oh, Ryunosuke, you've caught me! Yes, I want you dead! You're right, Runo! It says sent by Sholmes, envoy of hell! Yes, it was I. So my little ploy has been exposed. Well, so be it. Cast your mind back, if you will, Mr. Naruhodo, to the time of our dining last night. Oh, he's not even denying it. Oh yes, Masuzudo cooked Japanese food for us. Indeed, in particular, you may recall the final Norimaki sushi roll that I was about to savor. I was gonna say, for this being England, we have a lot of Japanese food. Well, then again, I guess the first escapade did take place in Japan. That was before we came to Britain. That is before you swooped in with your clacking chopsticks and filched it from under my nose. I'll never forgive you. Oh, I assumed because you left it that you didn't want it? You thought wrong. I left it, my dear fellow, because I planned to enjoy it as my very last mouthful. You better sleep with one eye open. Surely you must have noted my intent by the subtle dilation of my right pupil. Can't say I have. I must have missed it. Perhaps a clearer sign will be helpful next time. Just an idea. In summary, the post you received earlier is a notice of impending revenge. You should be quaking in your boots. Really? I am so serious. Because I went straight out into the garden and planted them. I'm hopeful we may grow some exotic fruit. There's no point sending a notice of impending revenge if the person you send it to doesn't know what it is. Fair point. Well, I knew, of course, because I've read this book. The Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes. On sale now in all major London bookstops and receiving rave reviews. Buy your copy today. And if you order now, you'll get another one free. Thanks, Suzuto. Oh yes, of course. It's finally been published, hasn't it? I hear it's selling very well. It is. 12 short stories in one volume. I've earned a lifetime's spending money already. And it has further bolstered my name. In fact, only the other day a Bohemian king sought to engage my services. Oh. We know about him. Really? That's extraordinary. Of course, the gentleman persisted with some pretense about being a fishmonger for the duration. But only a fool would be presumed to be able to deceive my eyes with such a charade. So how did you know that he was a king then? Why, there's no mystery, my dear fellow. A distinct smell of fish accompanied the man's lowly apparel, and he was wearing a crown. A Burger King crown. And though he tried to hide it, the left side of his moustache quivered in quite manifest manner. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, that's simply brilliant. You are a genius. Having neatly resolved the case for the man, I was sent a quantity of fish cod as a mark of his appreciation. I think perhaps you shouldn't discount the possibility that he actually was a fishmonger. You'd find this a fisherman selling you his fish. Is that? Can anyone else smell burning? Oh, yes, you're right. And look, smoke! I think maybe... Fire! Fire! There's a fire, everyone! Put it out! Put it out! Really? A fire? I mean, I see one in the fireplace. We must all leave at once. Everyone out of the building. Now, go, go, go. Stop, drop, and roll and all that. No, wait, I have to go back to my room first. Are you deranged? If you're not asphyxiated by the smoke, the flames will burn you to death. But my Daruma doll, I can't let my Daruma burn. It means too much to me. Oh, drat. Sorry, but I'm going to make a dash for it upstairs. Tell my mom I love her! Ha ha ha! Oh, Runo, you're so funny! There's no time for jokes, Iris. Go, quickly. Get out of here. Save yourself. I'll be okay. But there is no fire. Sholmes, you idiot. Is there, Hurley? Uh-huh. What a delight to see that ploy enacted in the flesh. Was that from the book too? I wouldn't have dared to dream I should be so lucky. Miss Suzuto? Oh, ha ha ha! Just another little joke. Indeed, it was a ploy. A devilment engineered by my puckish spirit. It was all a trick, but why? Revenge! It is a simple experiment of the mind, Mr. Naruhodo, when his life is threatened. A fellow is compelled instinctively to protect that property to which he attaches matching importance. And after your own life, Runo, the most important thing to you seems to be your Daruma doll. Let's not dwell on that, shall we, Iris? Let's forget that ever happened. So you knew all along, Miss Suzuto, that it was a trick? Yeah, you should have seen your face. Yes, of course, the very ploy described in this book. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. On sale now in all major London bookstops and receiving rave reviews. Again. Grab your copy today. Not again. I hired her as my, assistant. She's no longer your assistant, Naruhodo. I have used the device quite satisfactorily in the past to solve a case. Oh yes, it was a great success, wasn't it? But then it became something of a habit, didn't it? You started yelling fire at every crime scene. In the end, people started to pay attention to you at all. Or to not pay attention. Yes, that's true. It sounds a little bit like a book called, I don't know, The Boy Who Cried Wolf. Or The Detective Who Cried Wolf in this case. There was a time when I was known as the Sholmes Who Cried... exactly. The Sholmes Who Cried Wolf. I think there's a lesson to be learnt in there somewhere. But sadly, my little ploy failed to yield results this time. Iris was utterly unmoved. What do you mean? She's probably familiar with it. Well, I was anticipating that Iris would immediately expose her secret hiding place. The location of the nest egg she must have cached somewhere in this room. Nest egg? You think Iris has some secret savings? Why, naturally. The book is selling like hotcakes after all. It is a simple deduction indeed to conclude that the profits must be concealed here within these walls. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, are you in need of money? Ah, I bet I know what it is. It's that Never microscope that's going on sale, isn't it, Hurley? What else? I have such a strong desire to own one. Yes, my purse is £1 too light. I'll do whatever it takes. And as no offer of a loan has been forthcoming, I have been forced to resort to an alternative stratagem. Hee. Sorry, Hurley, but I'm not falling for that. Not coming from the Sholmes Who Cried Wolf. You're a liar and a deceiver. How vexing. You really shouldn't be trying to steal a 10-year-old savings, you know. Foiled again. My book is full of little tricks like that, you see. The army of the great detective. Except that in this case, both the orange pips and the fake fire fell a little flat, didn't they? Maybe Sholmes just isn't good at practical jokes. Oh, I have plenty more tricks on my sleeve, even though they're rolled up. Take, for example, the case of the Boscombe Valley mystery. I'm already filled with dread, just from the title. Maybe I should read these books, so I know what's coming. It is a tale of extraordinary skill on the part of the great detective. The skill of tracking. Tracking? When I arrived at the scene of the crime in the eponymous valley, there were footprints everywhere. But my eye was immediately drawn to one set in particular. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, your detective instincts are truly remarkable. As you know, my dear madam, no detail, no matter how small, escapes the scrutiny of those eyes. So I tracked my quarry, following the trail of his footprints, all the way to the man's place of residence. It led you directly to the culprit's house? What a triumph. What happened next? You misunderstand. It led me directly to my own house, my dear fellow. Uh-huh. For the footprints were, in the final analysis, those made by my own shoes. Isn't that exciting? Julia left here for Boscombe Valley as soon as he received the telegram about the case, you see. And then he followed his own trail straight back here to Baker Street. That should surprise me, but it doesn't. Now, Iris, please. You make it sound almost humdrum, but I assure you it is no easy feat. Trucking of this nature is a skill possessed only by the great Herlock Sholmes. I believe it. You're right, it really is extraordinary. Quite so, extraordinary is the word, and let it be the last on the subject. Anyway, needless to say, I subsequently went on to solve the case with various other deductions. Yes, it's the various other deductions that I'm interested in. Oh, well, you should have to read the book then. I'd rather not. I'm sure Iris has penned it with her usual flourish. Oh, absolutely. I put an ingenious spin on the great detective's exploits. It must have been very ingenious to make this man sound even remotely credible as a detective. You must be an expert, Iris. Wait, is that? Does it smell like something burning again? Oh, not this again. Oh, it's probably real fire this time. We've had enough devilment for one day, Mr. Sholmes. Put your puckish spirit to bed. I assure you this has nothing to do with me or my spirit. What? Oh no! The smoke is getting thicker! Run! You mean it's not a trick this time. There really is a... Quick! Get the Doomagal doll! Fire! Fire! There's a fire, everyone! Ah! Everybody run! Miss Uzuto, where are you going? Stay aside, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm gonna pummel the fire to death or something. Easy, Mr. Sholmes. What are you? Smash! Hulk! Sholmes, smash! Mr. Sholmes? Why did he just chuck that busted Napoleon on the floor? It's my prized possession. Oh, look at that. In amongst all the broken porcelain. Coins, sovereigns in fact, with a whole pound each. Come, everyone. We must leave at once. Evacuate the building. Immediately. Hee hee hee. You fell for it, Hurley. Hook, line, and sinker. You're the one who fell in my trap now, bitch. Ah. Wait, you mean... Iris? Tee hee. I certainly wouldn't have guessed that's where you'd have hidden it. Do you mean to say that the smoke was... You trying to get him to find where he hid his money? My own pocket spare needs to come out and play sometime too, you know? Here comes my theme music! What? This is still one of my favorite tracks from the game. Ah, of course, I know what it is, Iris. It's that indoor herb garden set that went on sale last week, isn't it? That's what you're after. I want one so desperately, but I'm £4 short. And even though you told me you didn't have any money to spare before, I knew you had a secret nest egg somewhere in this room, and now I found it. Oh, you outwitted me again, you smart girl. You really shouldn't let yourself be outwitted by a 10-year-old child, you know. Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing. But she's probably smarter than everyone in this room put together. So thank you for the loan, Hurley. Oh, but wait. What's the matter? Where's Susie? She's disappeared. Oh, she's long gone. She ran for the hills. Oh, yes, that's right. She ran off up the stairs before, didn't she? I'm coming! I'm coming! Oh, what are you still doing in here? We have to evacuate! Stop, drop, and roll! It won't be long before the fire is not here. Yeah, it was Iris's doing. You're a little late to the party. Ah! Sorry, Susie. It was funny, though. Children will get up to mischief once in a while, you know. But it's all perfectly harmless. Harmless, maybe, but oh so devious, you little devil. But I love you, Iris. Suzuto doesn't seem to mind. Oh well, at least nobody was hurt. Apart from Napoleon and my secret hoard, but other than that, we're all doing fine. Now tell me, Miss Suzuto, what is it that you went so fleet-footedly to fetch? Sorry? Oh. No, nothing. This is just... No, this is nothing. Susie, that's your notebook dealing all of Runo's trials, isn't it? It's folding at the seams. What? That's nice. Ah, testament to the various people you've helped over the past months. Miss Suzuto, I want to write here. She's like, I want to write the adventures of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Well, I am your judicial assistant after all. I would do anything to ensure the safety of those records. Even risk my life, if necessary. Oh, you're the best assistant ever, Suzuto. Maya wouldn't sacrifice herself for Phoenix. Well, maybe she would. I mean, it's very important to me. It's like a diary of everything we've achieved together.
I'm getting all teary-eyed now. So beautiful.
Yes, in stark contrast to a certain someone who would have fetched his Daruma doll, I must say. But it's my good luck charm. Okay, there we go. First 4 escapades complete. I think that made for a decent length episode. I don't really have that much to say about them, just that they're enjoyable. They're really fun. It's kind of what I expected. They're just wacky, off the wall kind of nonsense, but I'm here for it. It allows me to voice these characters and see some old faces again. Like the 2 guys from the first one and Beef Stroganoff and all of them, so it's fun. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna guess that maybe these last 4 are tied to the second game, or maybe they're all tied to the first game. I don't know. We'll find that out next time. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the bonus episodes. If you do, please hit the like button and the notification bell so you know when the next one goes up. And subscribe to the channel as it really helps me out. And of course, share the video and the channel with your friend, family, and loved ones. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching this with me, and I'll see you next time. So take care, and bye-bye.